A very good morning to you again, Leanne. Yes, with the majestic mountains in the background, daily life going on as per normal, and the sounds of a brass band. Whether or not you can hear it at the moment, you will in just a second. There's an interesting point to ponder today. What becomes of children under the age of 18 who find themselves on the wrong side of the law? They've transgressed, knowingly or unknowingly. Oftentimes, the justice system can be quite harsh and a traumatic experience for these youngsters. And it can be a punitive one as opposed to a restorative one. So where do they go? What happens to them? Well, here in Putadichaba, there's a solution to that particular problem that has been posed. And it comes in the form of the opening of the Thabo Mofutsanyane Secure Care and One-Stop Child Justice Centre. This particular building will be handed over by the MEC of Public Works to his counterpart, the MEC of Social Development in this particular province. It will be handed over officially and commence. I'm going to tell you all about it in just a moment, but let's rather hear from the officials who are in charge. MEC for Public Works, Mr. Sam Mashinini, as well as the MEC for Social Development, yes, CC in Ndombela. A very good morning to the both of you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Morning, Ayanda, and the viewers out there.
Hi, Ayanda.
Let's begin with you, MEC for Public Works. Talk to us about the process, the logistics involved. Let's get that out of the way. The cost of building this structure, the tender process that went out, the procurement processes, and the time frames involved.
Look, Ayanda, the starting of this particular building started somewhere in 2007. It was a multi-year project, and the tender processes went out to the people. A number of contractors were then taken in terms of the tender processes. But in the processes, we then faced a number of challenges whereby some other people could not finish, and then we tapped in the new contractors to build in the project. Like I'm saying, the project started in 2007. We are now in 2014. There were a number of challenges that we faced. You know, I'm not talking about the weather and so on and so forth, but because of the contractor, some of them could not finish in time. Those are the challenges that we had. We have followed everything, but all in all, we are happy. Finally, we have come to the point whereby I'm going to say to Mama Ndombela, here is your project, you can continue with it.
And the costs involved in the centre, no doubt they had ballooned because of the delay?
Yeah. At this point in time, the total is at 71 million rands that is there. And there are few areas that are still left that we have to finalize. But as you can look at it now, it's up to standard scratch. You know, I'm so happy that finally the young people that are offenders, you know, in this area and around the province at least. You see, Ayanda, what we need to do is that young people, when they become offenders, don't throw them into the street. Look at them, bring them back into the society. Umama Apa, she's going to speak about how do you then take them forward. You'll see inside here, we've got the courtroom that are going to be dealt with. We've got the sports facilities. We've got the computer areas where these children will then be educated so that when they go out there in the society, at least they are young people that are basically rejuvenated and they're able to face the society as new people.
Mama Sisi, Utata talks to us about the process of reoffending. Very possible for these youngsters if we simply lock them up and throw away the key, and then once they get bail, they go back into society. They're not rehabilitated. They learn new tricks from the hardened criminals behind bars there. But this process aims to somehow cut that and circumnavigate that to make sure that they are rehabilitated back into society.
Ayanda, let me first welcome you to Free State, to Kwakwa. I'm sure you're happy to be here. I'm so excited, Ayanda, to open this center today because this is a social development month. You know, that's why we are launching it today in this month. You know, I'm very happy, and I just want to say to my colleague here, thank you very much for building for us such a beautiful structure. You know, Ayanda, we are having problems with our youth, we are having problems with our children. As I'm speaking to you, we are having about 35 awaiting youth and children that are supposed to come and start here in this center. You can see all of us are quite aware of the increase of abuse of children and women is increasing, the rape is increasing, and the drugs are very high in this area. So we are going to use this center to make sure that we are going to rehabilitate those children. We are going to have social workers who are going to work here. Batodula Mona centering in. We are also going to have the magistrate. We are having everything here. So this center is going to be very helpful to the youngsters of this area. They are going to be rehabilitated. They are going to be given skills and all those things. So this center is very important this month.
So the official process of handing over the centre from Public Works to MEC takes place this morning. It's a beginning of a new season here for the children of not only this area, in fact, not only the province, but surrounding areas as well. You've spoken to us about some of the social ills. How are they going to be solved by this particular centre?
Good. Ayanda, you must know that this is a multi-purpose centre, one-stop multi-purpose centre. We have police here, we have social development here, we have Department of Health here, we have Department of Education here. It means when the SAPS then the police will hand them over to the social workers. The social workers are going to rehabilitate that child, to go to the families, to see the background of that child. Then the case and everything is going to happen here. We are not going to go to any other court. The court is already here. After that, when maybe they must 5 years or 6 years, then they are going to stay here in this one-stop center, and then education will take over, because most of them habaya dikolong, habaya zang, and that's why I want to explain this very clearly in Sesotho, because it's Qwaqwa, and they were telling me maobane bana ba ka mona hore most of them you'll see out of 35, I'm sure it's one girl ba bang ke bashanyana, and bashanyana bana boholo ba bona ha bana bontata bona, and bankupile hore I must just say it very clear hore because they don't have fatherly, they don't know fatherly figures. Habana di model roles tsa bontate. That's why sometimes ba enter into tse tshwanang tsena. And bankupile I must plead to bontate hore please, even if they don't marry their mothers, but ba hlokomele bona as boys, they need to have their fathers. So rehabilitation is going to happen, but rutwa ba tlokenya di classing, so that when ha ba tswa mona tronkong, they must know exactly hore community is going to accept them, and le bona ba tswa tronkong, they will be able to do something on their own.
Thank you so much for joining us, the MEC for Public Works and also MEC for Social Development in the province. Just a very clarent call to the fathers to play an active role in the lives of their children. A plea from some of the juveniles who have been arrested or found themselves contravening the law, saying that these are the manifestations of a fatherless society. More on those issues when we come back. Stay with us.